the English language started with the arrival of 3 Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. These tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, crossed the North Sea from what today is Denmark and northern Germany. At that time, the inhabitants of Britain spoke a Celtic language, but most of the Celtic speakers were pushed west by North invaders, mainly into what is now Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Angles came from England, and their language was called English, from which the words England and English are derived. Invading Germanic tribes spoke similar languages, which in Britain developed into what we now call Old English. Nevertheless, about half of the most commonly used words in modern English have Old English roots. 1066, William the Conqueror invaded and conquered England. The new conquerors, called the Normans, brought with them a kind of French which became the language of the royal court. In the 14th century, English became dominant in Britain again, but with many French words added. Towards the end of Middle English, a sudden and distinct change in pronunciation called the Great Vowel Shift started. The vowels being pronounced shorter and shorter, this and the renaissance of classical learning meant that many new words and phrases entered the language. The main difference between early modern English and late modern English is vocabulary. Late modern English has many more words arising from two principal factors. Firstly, the Industrial Revolution and technology created a need for new words. English is spread by expansion diffusion when the British began setting up colonies around the world. English came to the United States in the 1600s when settlers from Britain first arrived. Globalization is one of the main ways in which English diffuses. English diffuses easily because of the way vocabulary, spelling, and pronunciation can be changed. Also, many English words fuse with words in other languages, creating new words that bridge the gap between English and other languages. The effect on culture the English language had was that it affected not only folk culture but pop culture as well. On the folk culture side of things, the folk languages started to become used less and less because of an idea called globalization. Globalization is when an idea is taken and spread around to different cultures. This is how the English language affected folk culture in its original language. Meanwhile, the English language has affected pop culture by becoming a language used all around the world. This means that English will be used in all parts of industrialized areas and be a trade language, a common language used to communicate with others to get products.